first question is asked about the SCs and STs at the time of initial caste census, whoever is not allowed to enter into the temple like that. So, that was the system. Yeah, that untouchability was a reason for identifying the scheduled caste. That was the system prevailing there, and based on that the census was conducted. But other communities also were listed by the 1931 census, not only SC, ST. The whole caste system was taken by the British government based on the social and educational backwardness of the communities. So, they grouped as SC, ST and other communities, Brahmins like that. And the people who belong to the Brahmins, they were treated as very highly educated people. So, they categorized like that. So, that was the initial 1931 census, and there was that mechanism was not at all found to be faulty by anyone subsequently. No one said that was a very faulty system they observed. Till now, that was the data being taken by the government for any purpose. So, that is one part. Second part, you are asking about the sub-categorization. By doing this, we are not excluding anybody. For example, I said Tamil Nadu, let me take it. We are having 18% reservation for the scheduled caste. Now, in that some percentage is being given to some group of communities called Arundhathir community. The rest will get 15%, these people will get 3%. If there is no adequate persons available here, this position will shift here also. So, within them they will take that, there is no issue also. So, there is no problem also. Likewise in the MBC and BC also, we are now having 26.5%, 3.5% for the Muslims, backward class Muslims, and 20% for the most backward class. So, in that among the most backward classes, all are sharing that. No one has been excluded from the reservation policy, all are getting that, only the percentage is slightly varying based on certain data, which the government of the state has conducted certain survey, based on that they are implementing, and which has been now upheld by the court also.
You said about the methodology that Rohini Commission made. The question is that castes which are less represented in society were reported in the Hindi newspapers, they are more represented in the jobs among OBCs. Among OBCs, like among all castes. So, these castes, despite having less number of population in the society, they are socially considered weak, but they are over-represented, at least such kinds of.
But that kind of discussion did not come before the Rohini Commission. The Rohini Commission in fact was pointing to us that certain communities are having, they are able to garner more seats than their population or the dominant communities, they say that. The dominant communities among the OBC.
But surprisingly in Hindi newspapers it came other.
No, that is not the correct thing. Actually, the dominant community, for example, I can specify that they mean that Yadav communities, for example, they think that they have cornered most of these seats in the reservation policy and leaving the other people not able to get any opportunity. That was their idea of telling that fact. So, I countered that any community can have any percentage of share. It should have a representation, it should represent the population also. If it is related to that population, then it is natural. Any community which is having a more population will have more share, that is natural. So, that whether that aspect is being taken care by the commission, for which a data is required. So, that is what my reply was with the commission. So, but there was no the otherwise less number of population of the community belonging to the backward class having more seats, that matter did not come, and also I have not heard about that also so far in my view.
So, you said in Rohini community they never consider the population in the stats. So, in the Supreme Court judgment also in sub-categorization, they never mentioned that while giving sub-categorization, you have to consider the population. Are we celebrating this without considering this able?
No.
The Supreme Court have not mentioned that population has to be considered to see the representation in sub-categorization. Otherwise, it is like they are upholding the Rohini committee as it is. Because they are not even forcing the government to release the data. They are so concerned, Supreme Court has to say the government has to release the data.
No, the Supreme Court judgment of August 2024 relates to only to that Chinnaya case, where that earlier judgment said that state does not have the power to subcategorize. That was the judgment. Now, 7 judges bench said states have the power, that is all. That is the essence. Other things are only observations.
For that, state has to rely on the center only.
No, not necessary.
State cannot conduct a survey, census.
No. See, that is what now happened. What happened in Bihar? They conducted a survey. They enhanced reservation percentage, but it has been stayed. But the Supreme Court has not vacated the stay, and there is something. So, a political decision has to be taken by the Bihar government. What we have suggested is, like Tamil Nadu, you please see that again pass the act and send it to the center, ask them to include in the 9th schedule. What we did in Tamil Nadu. I have written to Chief Minister like that only. You follow the Tamil Nadu model. Don't go to the court. When he was trying to approach the court itself, I sent a letter to CM that please don't go to the court. You go to as a finish it as a political process. Otherwise, you will lose. That was my letter. So, but they went to the court, but the court did not make any relief for them. Na? So, there is only a political solution for this. Because you cannot trust this court on all matters. Sometimes they may, but on social justice matters, we are seeing only negative side of the court continuously. EWS case also, I filed a case in the Supreme Court, and what was the judgment?
This is not homogeneous communities. Even if we did that, we can find that particular community may be representing 80%.
Yeah, that is what we are telling. See, you have a data, then you prove it. If that community is having less percent population and cornering more, then there is a reason to revise that. Without that, you cannot just assimilate and have a view that these communities have cornered like that. That cannot be the case. That is what we are saying. So, the caste census is a very, very necessity, not only for reservation policy, for various schemes. Now, the government is having some schemes, means they do not have any proper data, and for the backward classes, the union government is allocating 4,500 crores per year for their welfare, which is not at all related to the population. There is nothing, nowhere connected with that, because they want to give some amount, that is all. With that, you are not able to give any proper pre-metric or post-metric scholarship to the backward classes. So, if you have a data, then you can find out how much we can give, how much population of them are affordable, so that you can exclude them, and how much you require for that, you can have some assessment. Now, nothing is there in the Niti Aayog, they do not have any such data. Just they want to give some amount, so they are adding some amount every year. That is what is happening.
So, while states like Karnataka and Bihar have conducted state level caste census, is there any reason why revenue governments in Tamil Nadu has not conducted state level caste census so far?
So, Tamil Nadu, without conducting a caste census, how that they were able to give 69% reservation? You tell me. We are the pioneer in this social justice movement, and in fact, when these governments have not even crossed 50%, we gave 100% reservation in Tamil Nadu in the Justice Party. From 1928, we were providing 100% reservation, including the Brahmins, we gave reservation. Yeah, they got out of 12 seats, they got 2 seats. That means how we calculate nearly 16%. So, they got it up to 1950 till constitution came into effect. They were availing that percentage, but they were not satisfied with that. They went to the Supreme Court and challenged that, and struck down the communal GO. Then first amendment came 15/4. Now again we have come to Tamil Nadu 69%, and they were the losers. And see, throughout the reservation process, policy process in Tamil Nadu, we have various types of surveys at every time. See, we gave this 3% for Arundhati year, not without any survey, otherwise court would have stayed by this time. Na? See, you see all the reservation policy adopted in Tamil Nadu. 20% was given to most backward classes. There was no stay. 3.5 for Muslims backward. There was no stay. Why? In Andhra you are staying. Here in Tamil Nadu, the court could not stay. That means there is a backup now. We have a process of commission. They gave the report, they assessed the situation, and they gave it. And now Arundhati community also, it was passed in 2009. Court has not stayed that. Now Supreme Court has upheld, you have got the powers. So it is continuing. So nowhere that survey was done for the like Karnataka or Bihar, but we have already crossed. Now Bihar has conducted recently, now only they have gone to 63%. But at present it is not in implementation, but still they are below 50% only. Whereas Tamil Nadu, we are even this 69%, when Supreme Court said that you cannot have 50% ceiling, you are breaching, Tamil Nadu went for an act. First time in India there is no act, now only Bihar has come. Otherwise no state is having an act, only GO is there. Tamil Nadu is having an act. It has been included in the 9th schedule. No one thought about it. 9th schedule was only for land reforms. No one thought it can be also inserted. But because of our leader Veeramani, who gave the idea that it can be done through 31C. So it was included. Now it has been protected. 94, 30 years we have crossed. Still, it is that 69% is continuing. So if there is any need, naturally we will do it. Otherwise, this 10.5% now, that 1 year case, actually the government, earlier government, on the day of the election announcement, they did it for some political reasons without any data, and it was struck down. So now the government is thinking, they have given to the commission how to go about it, whether to conduct the census or let us wait for the union government to have it. That is why the dilemma is going. Otherwise, we are not against conducting a data, because without data, how schemes can be done? You tell me. So many welfare schemes in Tamil Nadu is going on. See, you can see how much of schemes are going. 7.5% for people studying in the government schools are being given to medical college. Means without survey, you cannot have a system like that, because it is having a cost of a factor on that. Na? And all the students who join the medical college, even in the private colleges, their tuition fees is being reimbursed. Without a data, how? So every data is available. Only thing, those states are coming behind now, they are taking survey. That's all I can say. I can say only that.
Bihar is releasing the data. Why such data is not released in
Tamil Nadu? No, but there is no necessity. What is the necessity? You tell me.
There have been allegations of the 69% reservation that you talked about.
Uh-huh.
There have been cases where upper caste people are included under the ambit of OBCs due to vote bank politics and whatnot. So if we have a proper caste census data, we will be able to find the reservations and provide better social justice to the oppressed.
No, see, among the backward classes, I don't think anybody has gone to the court so far in Tamil Nadu against the percentage given to the backward classes. No one, I think, I don't have any information that most backward class caste has gone against this inclusion of particular caste as a backward class. Like that, I don't have a case before me. Maybe upper caste only, always upper caste only went for anything. For this 16% reservation, when it was done, they only went to the court. But court has not given any stay. Still the case is there. in Supreme Court. They could not stay that because of the Act. And this EWS case now 50% ceiling has been breached. That Bhatt was telling the Supreme Court that by this you cannot even do anything on 69% in Tamil Nadu. You openly told in the court. I was present in the court also. So, I do not think any allegation like that is coming. From the other upper caste we do not mind, because among the backward classes there is no, I do not think anybody is feeling that. But one thing I tell you, sir, every caste, even in the Brahmins, if they have want a reservation policy, we have already given that. But it was not the correct system. They are only 3% means they can get 3%. We are for proportional representation only. So, if the Brahmins are comfortable with 3%, there will not be any problem in Tamil Nadu. If they demand like that, but they demand 15%, which we gave in up to 1950, we gave 15%. That time they went to the court that we are not ready for 15%, we want all the 100%. Now they are coming back once again that we even 10% EWS we are not implementing in Tamil Nadu. We said we will not do it. Creamy layer we said we will not do it. Supreme Court asked why you are not implementing, we will not implement. We have a report. We gave the report from the Backward Class Commission, we convinced the Supreme Court there is no creamy layer in Tamil Nadu. All the state governments are implementing, na? In Tamil Nadu we do not have. So, I think we are going, but there may be some, I do not 100% perfection, I do not say, but we are somewhat, comparatively we are better.
Sir, while deciding adequate representation, how will you decide adequacy?
Actually, that is a very, very, what I can say, historically if you go that is a very dangerous word put forth by the Brahminical system in the constitution. Actually, proportional representation was the right word. In fact, Periyar, when he was in Congress party, I am telling in 1920, he was continuously demanding the Congress party to pass a resolution to provide 50% reservation for the backward classes and other things. But his idea is every community should have a proportional representation. So, he wanted a resolution on that, but the Congress party at that point of time dominated by the Brahminical group, they changed the word as proportional to adequate. But Periyar had a doubt. So, he asked some of his friends whether adequate or proportion are equal. Then they said, no sir, both are not equal, they have a different meaning. Then they found this fellow's cunningness. Subsequently, the Kanchipuram Mattana, you know about Sankaracharya, senior Sankaracharya, he was telling that in the constitution that adequate representation has come because of him only. So, they were able to convince that the Constituent Assembly, the draft makers of the constitution, where Ambedkar was maybe the chairman, but he was also compelled because of the circumstances. He was not able to have his say 100%. Somehow he has fought against that and improved various provisions, but he was not comfortable with he was not completely satisfied with the things. So, that adequate is not the correct word, proportional representation is the correct word. Well, see, I am telling you, see, just I am having whatever data we are having now, see, aims, faculty strength and OBC representation in the aims. This is the report given by the Parliamentary Committee for OBC. They have given in the report that less than 19% of the faculty of aims are backward, belong to backward. Less than 19%. So, minimum is 27% you are having. So, that becomes the adequate representation. Your percentage becomes the adequate. Now, in Tamil Nadu, if you ask me, they will say 50%. So, your percentage is, that is why we are saying that it should be increased to 52% as per Mandal Commission report. So, that adequacy is now related with your percentage of reservation, not population. So, at least to that extent we are coming, we are not coming. So, the committee itself says that they are only 19% in the faculty at various stages. In the top stages they are very less. So, that is data given by the aims also.
In case of sub-categorization, those who went to court are putting 2 points. Like one is Schedule scheduled caste certificate is not a homogeneous group.
Mm.
So any change, any introduction of sub-categorization is hitting that homogeneity. One thing. Second thing is this when the states are allowed to do sub-categorization because of political situations, state will manipulate it and use it for their own political purpose. So the center should only deal with sub-categorization. These are the two main points as far as I see for
Yeah. Yeah. Number one, you are telling about that sub-categorization. Point number one, you are telling about what?
homogeneous.
Yeah. But Chandrachud says that it is not a homogeneous, it is only a heterogeneous. And as I explained in my first talk also, we have made a group of people categorized as scheduled caste, tribes, backward classes, which consists of various castes. Whether you mean to say all the castes are equal in the point with relevance to their representation. Whether everybody is equal in the society also, even among the scheduled castes today, there are having various castes. Whether all castes are treating everybody equal, there is also a hierarchy. Graded inequality is being applied in the root also. That is what the Arundhati community were telling, that we were being treated as the lowest of the low. So, where is the question of your homogeneous or heterogeneous here? That is what the Supreme Court Chandrachud in his judgment says, that it is not a homogeneous, it is heterogeneous. So many castes within that term also are affected. So, they need to be addressed. So, the state has got the powers to do that. That is what is you read the judgment also. Because the judge says I am not saying this, that is all he has observed, which is also a relevant point, which is relevant I am telling. But in the normal course, practically also you are seeing that all castes are not being treated equally. Even in the backward classes are that is why most backward classes was separated. Likewise, each state they are having separate groups. Why that EBC is coming now in Bihar? Extreme backward classes. Why? What is the need for that? When they are categorized as backward classes, where is the need for EBC then? Because among them also, some people are not able to reach that level, because it is all in the society, every opportunity is not equal to everybody. So, that system it is like that only, because it has been going on for hundreds of years. So, it is not a unified system. That is why this I do not support that it is all castes are equally in the society also, number one. Number two, your point is?
States will manipulate it.
Yeah. So, see everything, if you take that it is a political decision, then what about your EWS 10%? Who demanded that first of all? Whether any demand was there from anybody that we want 10% reservation? No one. Is there any data? Nothing. Is there any constitutional provision? Nothing. So, a government, because of its numbers in the parliament, bulldozed that idea and implementing that. Well, then when your union government is doing that, these people are doing that? Nothing. So, every state or everywhere there will be a political decision only, but your political decision is okay, but whether that community requires that is our point. Every political party will have its own system or idea about a reservation policy. That is not directly on us. Whether I am for this, whether every caste should have their share in the system, that is the first thing. You have to identify that. Then you go for whether it is politically correct or not. EWS politically also, even otherwise also, it is not correct. That is why we are opposed. Not that Modi government has done that, we are opposing that. It is constitutionally not correct, because the system is only for social and educational backwardness. You are including an economic backwardness in the back door and pushing these people who are already represented more in the power hierarchy, you are giving additionally 10% in the name of a economically weaker section. You are giving a new definition of economically weaker section where a person who is earning per day 2,200 rupees is, as per your law rule, if he belongs to upper caste, he is a EWS. If he belongs to the OBC, he is called a creamy layer. That is why we are opposing that. So, in that way only we are saying that will not affect political decision. All these decisions have been taken only politically only. Every decision today all along for social justice has been taken by the political parties only. Because of the social movements backing, it has been done in separate various states in different manner. But every decision will be like that. That you cannot, what you can do for that? You have to fight. You create a public opinion against that, then only you can do it.
So what you were saying is that powerful communities added to OBC or EBC for government politics. Even we can, like in Bihar, Baniyas have been added to EBC.
When?
Now in Bihar, Baniyas are in EBC.
Wow, okay.
Marathas have some Marathas, so if you just add them in.
Marathas reservation added, huh?
No, it's not added.
Why?
They add them
Why not added?
because of stats, politics.
No. See, the government wanted to include them, provide reservation. They want to include them in the OBC. They made a experiment. Court rejected. There was a public revolt against that by the backward classes community. So, the government cannot proceed further today also. Even though they may be interested politically, they are not able to implement because of the backlash from the backward classes. Supreme Court has already stated. What about Jats? Supreme Court rejected in the central level. In the state level, if the communities are not able to fight against that, you can't stop that. No? Okay. That is what I am telling. See, everywhere you will have positive or negative impact. Decisions, but what our social organizations role, there comes the role. In like Tamil Nadu, if you have a social movement, naturally there will be a fight against that. Naturally you fight on, but if you don't have anything, these things will happen only. So it is this is indication that a social movement is very much essential in those states. They can only fight all these things. Then they will act as a pressure group. Then the government will think about it, whether to do it or not. That way only can do it.
What do you think about the reservation for Muslims?
Yeah.
Right from the sub-categorisation committee, which is quoted that the social condition of Muslims in India are even lesser than scheduled caste and And do we have enough data at least to mention like what are the representation of Muslims in the government services?
Yeah, we have a data because caste census, this census itself takes the data of various religions, including Muslims, Christians, all data are available. Sachar committee, they have given the based on that only they are giving the report that they are being all various segments are also there in the Muslim. They are not getting their representation. That the data is there. In Tamil Nadu, we have given 3.5% reservation based on that social and educational backwardness only. So, constitutionally, you can say that you cannot give on the basis of a religion, but on social and educational backwardness, you can give to any community which court cannot interfere, or constitution supports that also. So,
what in West Bengal, I think recently Mamata government has introduced some reservation for Muslims, but High Court has stricken.
Yeah, that see based on I have to see whether on what basis the government has done that, why they have increased and the court what is whether it whether they without any inadequate data or anything on that reason whether they have done, or I have not read that judgment. Sorry, that is why any of
some commentary was there in Indian Express. Faisal Mustafa, I think some case
Yeah, even in Andhra, when they give for 5% reservation Muslims, it was struck down. Because if you go directly on a religion basis, then the court will say that you cannot go by that.
But there are enough data. Actually, there is lot of data in NSS on regarding Muslims. There is complete absence on the Muslim legislation or any political aspect.
Caste system within Muslims as well, right?
It's there. It is there. But even as a Muslim, as a religious group, we are speaking about in terms of representativeness. Muslims are very much meager made of us in parliament. It is there. But there is a lack of political will.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Even court is ready, political will should be there.
Yeah. That is correct.
Community, there's a difference between the Pashtun and Muslim or the BC. Muslim itself is a marginalized community in India.
But there is Pasman going on. I mean, we have minority institutions like Jammu and we have no representation of Ashraf, even in minorities.
The ongoing practices of discrimination, or we say the class effects which we see, if I'm not wrong, in 2019 data, there were 93 secretariat posts, out of which there was only zero representation from SC, one from SC, and none from the BC as well. How? Because we already have data from 1931 or 1979, still this is very much prominent in our society. How now the caste census, or how it is going to change?
No. See, caste census will give an idea whether the policy which being adopted by the government is related to the data, anywhere nearer to the data. Suppose if any caste or community says that we require this much of representation percentage, then the government should have a data. So, because each community today is asking you give us 20%, 15% means the government should have a data whether your community is that much, whether how much it can be given, there should be a data. Without the data, if the one community, even every community, they are asking more than what they are. In Tamil Nadu, the Brahmins demand 15% because they are 3% only. So, 5% more higher than that they are asking that 5 times. So, how we relate it then without a data? In Tamil Nadu, we have some data, we are able to counter that, but totally I am telling today there is a demand because everybody feels that as long as this system continues, we should have a representation in various levels, executive, legislative, judiciary, everywhere. So, there is a growing demand. How the government is going to address that? For that, a simple thing is we should have a data. That is a simple thing. Not only here, everywhere, every country is having a data. In America, they are having a data based on race. African Asians, Hispanics, every data is there. Even when the time of COVID, this government said because of COVID, we have stopped this 2021 census. Still, they have not done that. Whereas they completed that 2020. They have completed that despite all these things. Even though deaths were more in US compared to India. So, intention here is different, and the data is the simple first thing any government should have on for various things, not only for this reservations or for various other schemes also you should have a data. Then only you can think about various welfare schemes. Today what government says that we are going to give this health care for all 70 plus. How many you have? You don't have, without the data, how you are going to make a budget for that? So, the finance ministry, if they want to have a budgeting, you should have a data on various segments. So, but now they are telling everything just ABC and they are giving some amount which is not at all related to that. That is why basic thing is caste, this data. The caste census is an additional thing which demands today, every community demands. Tell me.
I have a couple of questions. One is like if someday, 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line, the government becomes serious enough to conduct a caste census. categorized, especially when it comes to this SC and ST community. So naturally the benefits will be redistributed among different communities within this SC community and broad ST community. Do you think that is going to affect the larger broad cohesiveness of the Dalit movement as such for the fight for social justice? Broad first. Second is, I have found many proud Ambedkarites inhospitable to this idea of including Dalit and Muslim, Christian and Muslim Dalitas into the category of reserved category of SCs. We know that they were meticulously denied this reservation through a presidential order, and all of us know well why this state has an interest, this Brahmanical state has an interest in not providing a reservation to Christians and Muslims, Dalits, because they think people from Dalit communities or ST communities will, non-Muslim ST and SC communities will convert en masse to these two faiths, that's Christianity and Islam. But I don't understand this, the Ambedkarites, very proud Ambedkarites, who take pride in this championing the cause of social justice, that they are very inhospitable to this idea extending the SC reservation to Muslim Dalits and Christian Dalits. And this reservation, when we talk about reservation to Muslims broadly, there is often this counter argument given that reservation can't be given on the basis of religion as such, which is to some extent quite logical. But this SC reservation is technically a reservation based on religion only. It is being given to Hindus, to Buddhists, to Sikhs, who are so-called Aryan faiths, people who are from Aryan faiths. It is a religious-based reservation. It is not a religious reservation.
No, see, the Constitution explicitly says that reservation should be given for the socially and educationally backward classes of citizens. That's all. That is a broad word. It never says that based on religion explicitly. So, that is why the court says that you cannot go by the religion. Socially and educationally backward classes of citizens, that means he can be a Hindu, he can be a Muslim, or he can be anybody. So, if that category comes under that, that is why in Tamil Nadu when we are giving 3.5% reservation, backward class Muslims means already they were in the backward class list only as a socially and backward classes. Those castes who have suffered and they are not having adequate representation, they have been included. So, we do not go by only by as a Muslim as a religion, otherwise also they are social and educationally backward, they have been included. That comes under central list also today. The present government is implementing reservation for Muslims and Christians in the name as social and education backward classes also in various state list, which is being transferred to central list also. So, religion explicitly you cannot give, but as a social and educationally backward class, you can give reservation to any groups. That is what the Constitution says, which court cannot object.
Sir, that is the point actually. When it comes to Muslims and Christians, why do we have a special category of social and educationally backward classes?
No. See, the demand by the groups which we are referring is that they should be treated as scheduled caste. That is the demand. Already they are being treated as in the backward class only. All those converts, for example, in Tamil Nadu, those who are being converted from Hindu to Christianity or other things, they are being classified in the backward classes only.
Why not SS?
No, that is why they are demanding. See, the logic behind this is when they shifted their faith to another religion, they crossed that only hoping that this kind of untouchability or anything will not continue in the other religion. That is the idea of switching over. Once you switch it over, why do you ask for that same thing? That is the logic. That is the, can I have water? That is what the people say like that. That is what the argument I am telling. I am not against that, but I am telling the argument because they shifted from this religion to another religion, stating that this kind of untouchability, everything will not be there. So, I am going there. So, since you have crossed that, but your social and educational backwardness is continuing, you will not be treated as a general category, you will be treated as a backward class category. That is the best thing they can help that they are doing. That is what I can understand.
But why government is telling why Ambedkar is like for social justice also not accepting.
Not they demand the Dalit Christians to be included in the SC category. Correct? Correct? Huh? That is the demand.
He is saying that why even Ambedkarites are opposed
Opposed?
to the idea of inclusion of Christian Dalits and Muslim Dalits.
But I don't think all the Ambedkarites. Some people, see, that I cannot answer. Yeah, even sub-categorization, some people are not accepting. They went to the court also. I can't help them. What I can, we can only say my view. That's all. I can't say.
They are stating.
This question answered, huh?
Coincidence of this Dalit movement in future.
Huh?
It is, I said somewhere down 10 years down the line, government will become generous enough to conduct a caste census and then does this sub-categorization in STs and SCs especially. So these benefits for reservation, jobs, education, colleges, they will get redistributed. So is it going to affect the large cohesiveness of the Dalit movement as such?
See, no, you say that, from your talk, what I have understood is that if this caste census is conducted, sub-categorization implemented, then what will happen to the Dalit movement? Am I correct? So, why I am asking you, what is the purpose of this Dalit movement or any movement, social movement? What is their purpose? No, I am asking you. To? Social. If it is given, what is your problem? No, why do you want a movement when it is being distributed evenly to everybody? Then what is the purpose, what is the necessity of your fear? Having whether this movement will survive or not, it will survive. As long as the necessity is there, movement will be there. Na? See, any change, the movement is only for a change. A transformation is required. That is why your movement is there. Otherwise, what is the, you are not a status quoist. Na? You don't say that everything should remain as it is. You want a change. The present system is not comfortable to all these groups. So, we want a change. So, the movement is only for a change. When the change is happening, why you are afraid about whether the movement will be there or not? Why you are must be afraid about that? We are only demanding that a change should happen. How? Why it should be weakened? See, the beneficiaries should feel that because of the movement only it is happening. That is your job. You have to ensure that you should awaken them that this is happening because of the movement. So, if this movement, if it continues, you will be protected. That is your job.
My point is, because there are some people who are Ambedkarites, when there was this observation made by the Supreme Court about the sub-category from SCs, a good number of Ambedkarites think that this is an attack on the unity of SCs as well.
Attack
on their unity.
Attack?
It is an attack on the unity.
The sub-categorization will divide the Dalits.
Yeah, they think as a socio-political community, this observation which has been made by a bench of Supreme Court justice. So they think this is an attack on their identity or unity as a group, socio-political group, SCs.
See,
it is not homogeneous, but they think in those terms. And we all know who is on the front lines. Those who have been to college, who have been exposed to activism, or who have done some kind of political work or ground level work, they are at the front.
see, this same argument was earlier echoed by the same Brahminical group when the reservation policy was implemented for the backward classes, scheduled castes and tribes. What they said, by implementing the reservation, the whole concept of Hindu unity will be disturbed, and you are now echoing the same thing in a different form. That is pathetic really. That means they have not understood the ideals of Ambedkar, that's all. Yeah. Huh? No, that is different, yeah, but how this oppressor unity, oppressor people's unity is what, the unity is for what purpose you are asking for this unity? Whether all the people within the group should have some benefit in the society, should have some representation in the society, only for that purpose this unity wanted. When it is happening, why do you have a fear that will disturb your unity? I think it is contrary to your whole concept itself. It will never happen.
Sir, if they are so concerned about that community, even the Muslim community, there are so many untouchable castes are there. Will they allow them to come into this SC category?
No, that is see, I don't say that this kind of system should continue. See, why this kind of different community should be in this country? I don't think whether it is required. Whether we are for having, whether we have to move towards annihilation of caste or to preserve this system. That is the next question we have to put. When you are going for a movement, your aim is to annihilate, not to preserve this and maintain that this system. That cannot be the ultimate. You are for annihilation only. Towards that only you have to move. Why we should have this kind of system? Some people having some benefits, some people doesn't have a. We have to annihilate means then this kind of fear will not come. The movement is only for that, I am telling. Any movement, even Dravidian movement or any movement, the aim is to annihilate all this imbalances.
The logic you were saying, like you are supporting, but see, like Buddhist people, like people largely convert to Buddhism around the like 3 million around, and people were converted to Sikhism, and later they were brought up to atheist. For Sikhism, 1951 itself. For Buddhism, 1990. Even people who are converted to Buddhism, like were atheists, who are converted to Buddhism, they were considered atheists.
Yeah.
The atheists who are converted to Sikhism, they converted to atheists.
Yeah.
But why it is not possible for Christian Muslims? That's what I. Even I am from Dalit Christian background. The thing is, there is a data by Satish Deshpande, is who shot this, he analyzed LSSO surveys. He stated that there is no that much of difference between Sikhs, Muslims, even Dalit Muslims are very much their condition compared to Muslims. Even we take into education, there is some minority institutions are there, but they are not catering to every Dalit population in the religion. But in terms of political, in terms of MLAs or MPs, see, it will be satirical, but there is no, we can say Dalit Christian MP, MLA, we can find it. There will be minus or minus 2, not even 0. So by that, at least they are not having any political. This is just only idealist argument that if you convert to Christianity to Muslim, forget about reservation. So this logic, you are providing reservation to Dalits who are converted to Sikhism and Buddhism, but not converted to Islam or Christian. But the social economic conditions, untouchability,
remains the same.
Is more cruel in Christianity than Muslim and Sikh and Muslims. We have, you know, sir, you from Tamil Nadu, I am from Tamil Nadu, you know. Nadas and Velagas and Devas are holding, Vandis are holding that much of power. So there is no mobility that this logic is observed. And second question is like, this is so much popularity in the mind for a long time regarding sub-categorization. Sir, there is one data recently released by RTA, something, by who filed RTA, regarding and the one day reservation, some of the data on this. அதில் என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா லைக் 15% ரிசர்வேஷன் ஆல்ரெடி நாங்கள் கிளைம் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஆல்ரெடி 15% சாரி 10% வந்து அவங்க இருக்கிறாங்க, 15% ஆல்ரெடி இருக்கிறாங்க, ரிசர்வேஷன் வரதுக்கு முன்னாடியே அவங்க இருக்கிறாங்கன்னு சொல்லி டேட்டா ஒன்று வந்துச்சு. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி டேட்டா அருந்ததியினருக்கு பப்ளிக்லி அவைலபிள் இருக்கா? லைக் எது கலைஞருக்கு அந்த ரிப்போர்ட் சப்மிட் பண்ணப்பட்டுச்சு, அது ஒரு கண்டிஷன் அது பேஸ் பண்ணி தான் ரிசர்வேஷன் கொடுத்தாங்க. பட் இஸ் தட் ரிப்போர்ட் இஸ் அவைலபிள் இன் பப்ளிக்? Representation clearly showing that Arundhatinas is not well represented in any of the education institutions or government employment before 2009. Is that openly available?
Openly I don't know, but it is available with the government.
But not government not released.
No, it is not in the public domain, but it is there. It is there. But the data is with the government.
Yeah, that's what government is releasing 1 year's regarding 1 year's reservation kind of document.
Because there was a counter for that. That is why they released it. Otherwise, there was no necessity to release that. Through RTI, they would have refused to give some evasive thing. But the Arundhati community, there was a complete support from that group, Arundhati community. So, there was no opposition.